like to ask Dr. Manju Gupta that ma'am, like you have I think spent almost like more than over 35 years in the industry. You have worked with NPCI, you have worked with Arriva India, you were leading over there. So how journey during this time, what was what was the your journey in the public working during in the public sector and in a private sector. So what was your experience in the nuclear in the industry side? Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, I think your mic is...
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, to begin with, if you ask me, was it easy to change from, I was working for a public sector and then shifted to private sector. It wasn't easy, frankly. To be honest, the decision making was very difficult with all, questions clouding your mind, whether you're going to succeed or not, and whether I'll be able to handle everything the way I have been, or various questions which you have in mind about private sector. It is very difficult, very competitive, and survival is like everyday task sort of. But having said that, I would say as far as challenges are concerned, whether you work in public or private sector, or public and private enterprise, in nuclear sector is not different than in any other sector. For a woman, the challenges remain the same. Like you want to succeed by becoming a superwoman in at home, at work. You want to be on the top. I mean, these are all with all of us, with any professional woman. These questions will be always there, and we will be, and that's why we say we are multitasking. We are running the show, always trying to run the show at the cost of your own health, your own ambitions, whatever. But yes, so I think many other speakers also have touched upon this aspect, that it is no different. The challenge comes only at a time, only at a specific time or period of life in a woman's period of time in a woman's life, and that is when she wants to go for motherhood, pregnancy time, and that also only if she has a job which exposes her to radiation during that period. Largely, otherwise, like I was most of the time in, I was in the engineering, so I was at headquarters. So it was only during that time that I would think of being in the nuclear power plant near some radiation zone or something. Of course, the question didn't arise at that time because there was no such need. Otherwise, it is all safe. So nuclear sector as such for women doesn't pose any different challenge, as long as you are able to handle every other challenge like in any other field. Uh, but yes, uh, how do you handle this is again, the factors are the same. It is supportive family and supportive co-workers. Organization is same everywhere most of the time. Some are good towards, more oriented towards females, their facilities and all that, but otherwise largely it is the support of women, support of co-workers. And I have been really fortunate in that sense that I always, it always happened that I got help from every angle, every source, whomever, and life was enjoyable. However, I do remember that the distinct difference that I felt at the time when I found that the time constraints. the time constraints, the time given for given to me to explore any possible solutions to a problem. My first shift was to engineering consultancy in UK, directly from NPCIL and moving to UK and to an engineering consultancy, and I have to handle the a British client for giving some engineering solutions, and this was the difference. Whether it is in India or abroad, it would be the same for a private company, working in a private company, that there the time is money, and the decision making layers are much less, so you have to come up with a solution very fast and in an implementable way. Whereas in public sector, I do remember that whenever I have faced any new problem, I always had time to explore different solutions. I think it's also depending upon the type of industry, because the public sector which I worked with, NPCIL, was a utility, was a owner, and owner obviously is the owner of design, engineering, everything. So they have to come out with the perfect solution. Whereas an engineering consultancy is the service provider. So there the time constraints and those are on a different scale. But yes, I had to tune my mind to that, frankly, because that was a major shift in the culture. It was a cultural shift for me. The second one I would say is proficiency in soft skills. When I have to give to the customer my report in Word and quickly come out with numbers in Excel and PowerPoint presentation, and I'm talking of a time when 10 years back or 12 years back. One is, in public sector, we really are, pampered. we are, we have supporting staff. I don't have to correct anything on my own, except some small things, but otherwise I would be dependent on the supporting staff. So that was a big challenge. That was in fact much major challenge than the first one. How do I proofread my Word document? Do I know how to check it, how to format it? I spent a lot of time in learning that, and that continues even now with my journey. But this is something which I would advise, that this is one major thing. You have to be hands-on, everything on your own. Even the MD of the organization is doing their own presentation, making their own PPT, and nice PPTs that too. It's not just some basic thing. So these were the two basic, I would say, differences I faced. Otherwise, in terms of challenges, it is unlike any other industry I think a woman would face. And also the solutions lie at the same place. You have to have really supportive people around you who want to see you grow. So yes, only thing what I really felt is that yes, in nuclear sector, definitely the representation of women is less. It is even with the IAEA's 2019 data, I find it is 22.4% all over the world in nuclear sector, and IAEA promotes gender parity in a big way, diversity. And somebody had mentioned during our interviews during this interview session, that there are some skills women are good at, and I'm sure they can use that skill to the benefit of nuclear industry. So yes, that is one thing, but I think scene is much changing, is definitely different. And again, what I find is it is the IT related, or it's still the core engineering related is still less. The women entering in the core engineering field is still less. Take an example of NPCIL, like within few years of my past life in NPCIL, so many young girls came into the R&D, where it is about instrumentation and control. and where you are using software based or computer based systems, and there were so many girls. So that changed the entire scenario in the office. Like then you would see so many women, so many girls. But I would say that also must change. That core engineering also should be a field which should become attractive for women. At the moment, it is again the desk job or the more R&D related job which is becoming attractive. And at the same time, at the plant site, nuclear power plant sites, the women are really few, and there also you would find women in commissioning or of again INC much more than any other field. I remember having this is something I thought I would share. I faced this challenge when we used to be there at plant site, nuclear power plant site, for commissioning. I have stayed there for a month or so, at a stretch, and the commissioning phase would be the timings were really uncertain. It would extend to night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You are not sure when that system will get commissioned. And now what do? You have the urge and the basic necessities in the except the administration building, which is somewhere far, and in the night you don't venture out to go there all alone. So what used to happen is you tell your male colleagues they are there as a guard outside, you use the male toilets. And that was little bit of initial hesitancy was there, but there was no other choice. And it was not by intention that the plants didn't have it. Nobody ever thought. So when I approached the management and the director, and he said, I have been noticing this, Manju. I know that, and I realize it. You of course now bring it, and it was nice that you continue to do your work, discharge your duty with all these challenges. But we realized, and next time when we went, it was all there. So it is just the matter of underrepresentation. Seriously, like if there are more women, that needs will be felt to be provided. And though this is a small thing, it is not technical, it is not career oriented, but these are basic needs which irritate you and when they are needed. So okay, having said that, I think things are changing. I'm sure with Win India platform, we will be able to reach out to more women to enter into this nuclear field. And it is not just the power plant, as everybody said, medicine, agriculture. Actually, nuclear in agriculture is so much important, and especially in a country where in India, where the food scarcity and we depend upon the weather conditions. And so it's important that that field is also explored and promoted more and more. And in fact, entrepreneurship can be much more in this field, and women can do wonders in this field, anybody for that matter. So that's one thing. Yeah, and if I have to talk about what kept me going, is like anybody else. Everybody, all of us are ambitious. When we enter a professional world, we enter with the thought that we will manage everything and we will succeed at all the places, be it at home or be it at work. And that was the ambition to succeed. At the same time, yes, so important to be open to evolve, to adapt to the changing situations and quickly adapt, not carry the baggage all the time. And the final thing is, of course, what holds you is the strength of knowledge and experience. If you are strong, you will be recognized. You keep fighting, you will be given your due. And that has always come handy. It will come handy to everybody, regardless of women or men, and it will beat any challenge. So, yeah, I think all ladies, welcome to the nuclear engineering world, nuclear science world. And that would be my take on this question. Thank you.